Absolutely. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Breeze's Saints going up against Palmer's Cardinals. So let's send you out to the Valley of the Sun as we welcome in our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. It hosted Super Bowls 42 and 49. And it's University of Phoenix Stadium. That's where we're at in Glendale, Arizona. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. Breeze now on first down. He goes underneath to Ingram. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan. The headshots here are the offensive unit. And what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And that is incomplete here. He was looking for Mark Ingram there, and it's third down.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense because you got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll come out in the pistol.
Let's go. Blue 58.
first down. It's Palmer. And this is Michael Floyd, complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
First carry now. This is Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And the damage that David Johnson did in Week 12 was mainly through the air. 58 on the ground, but 103 receiving yards. He also scored a receiving touchdown.
And his versatility should surprise no one. Maybe the level he's playing has opened up some eyes, but he came out of Northern Iowa, went there as a wide receiver before becoming a running back, maintained both of those skills in a big way, and now he's the #1 threat on offense for the Arizona Cardinals.
Palmer now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The inaugural drive for this offense today, and the guy we're going to talk about, Michael Floyd.
Starting to develop into a #1 receiver, a guy that you'll count on downfield.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. On third down, Palmer. And he can't get away from the pressure. Palmer sacked. Paul Kruger able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Now Drew Butler to punt for Arizona, the son of former Bears kicker Kevin Butler. Fielded at the 43. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, was just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And for Thomas, give him 7 touchdowns now in the season. He had 2 more in Week 12.
And he's a guy that you sense feels like he still has a lot to prove. Felt like he should have been a first-round draft choice. Was marked down mainly because of his speed or what people considered a lack thereof. And, boy, he positions well, catches the ball well, competes for it really well. In fact, James Laurinaitis, a former Buckeye himself, he told me this young man cares about the game, cares about winning, and does everything possible to get better.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Shift together here from the D-line. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Their big-bodied receiver, 26 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Again, it's Johnson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Palmer. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to it, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. He's had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Palmer to throw. John Brown. Touchdown. John Brown. 53 yards. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from grabbing the lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize. To adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans, and they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Just 1 yard to go here on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now, Ingram was forced to leave the game in Week 11, but he came back in Week 12 with a vengeance. 14 carries, 146 in the yardage department, a score as well. And
even go back earlier in the season when he had a little bit of a fumbling problem. Got benched in a game against Seattle, but responded with a big game after that. And here he is for the second time in the last 4 weeks, well over 100 yards on the ground.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
It's a gain of 20 that time. And that leads to a New Orleans first down. So they're operating in the red zone. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers.
Easy.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. This will be caught at about the 6. Only 2 yards on the completion at 2nd down. Breeze to throw again. That's caught at the 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now. In motion right as a running back. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
This could very well be 4-down territory, but right now we focus on 3rd and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram taking it in from a yard out. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. Breeze is going to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Now Palmer on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And as we sit on the doorstep now of Week 13, need to talk playoff picture. Let's look at the AFC. The Patriots at 9-2. The Raiders at 9-2. I don't know that they're getting the credit they deserve. So many people talking about New England.
I would agree with that. They're having that type of a season, their first winning season since 2002. They had their sights set a lot higher than that now. But how about Kansas City? They went to Oakland earlier this year and beat them by 16 points. So head-to-head, the Chiefs know that they're one of those teams that you've got to beat in the playoffs.
He's coming off a heck of a win over Denver. Cameron Jordan able to drop him for a loss of 4. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. John Brown, 79 yards. And the Cardinals have once again taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, It's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to fit.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Breeze to throw on second down. Surveying the field. It's complete. Fleener, right side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now Breeze on third down. It's complete to Fleener. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Breeze again. Now Breeze lost the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before half for Breeze. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyvon Branch. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Second down following the run. They come out here in the eye.
Here we go.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Andre Ellington, his first carry. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Here's Palmer. Completes it over the middle to Floyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Mirror. Regular.
On second down, here's Palmer. Over the middle here to Brown. 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. John Brown, 49 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. So they're going to go for 2. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Play clock winding down. The carry here for the big tight end. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Breeze will try again on second down. Caught right side. It's Snead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right, because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Now Breeze. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. On second down, here's Breeze. Looking for his tight end Fleeter, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Sally 19. Here we go. 1, 18. Regular. Sally 19.
Now Palmer on first down. Man open left side is Brown. It's a gain of 21 that time. And it's good enough for an Arizona first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Here's Ellington. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Sally 19. Sally 19. Mirror. Get ready.
They come out here in the eye. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth. And they're definitely showing blitz here.
Get ready.
Again, they run with Ellington. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll need to get the play off quickly. This is Ellington. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Watch left. Time right there.
The play clock's running down. On second down, Johnson. And he is into the end zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan, no fighting in no
Popping knock it when I met you, shorty had the long extension. Told her I'm a bad man, but I only got the best intention. Tougher,